Bob Johnson with PK&W Modelwerx coming at you with another video. This time about how I made this Sergeant Rock parody poster for display here in our new creative space. Stay tuned. So I'm gonna go through step by step how I did this using a few still images just in order for you to get a sense of how you might be able to do something just like this. So not surprisingly for a project like this, we begin with a comic book. I'm not sure how I identified this particular Sergeant Rock cover, but I went ahead and ordered it on eBay or something and got it fairly quickly. It was just a couple of dollars. I took a photograph of the comic book cover from a 90-degree angle. I did that by hand. It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. And then I saturated the colors, sharpened the image, made a few other photo manipulations to make it look closer to the original. I made some changes to the language on the original book in order to make it a parody and make it related to scale modeling. And so here you can see I've changed the stranger to the modeler, and you and me have got a war to win to you and me have got scale models to build. So having a little fun, making a little parody. And here's the final image that I then sent to a company to have a canvas print created of it in the largest size that they would do for $100. I could have gone to another company and spent a lot more money and got something even bigger. In hindsight, I think I'm relatively satisfied with what I got. I then started making the frame. I bought some 1x2 pre-painted, pre-primed 1x2, cut it to 45 degrees with my chop saw, which wasn't exactly precise, but then I mitered, so I just cut those 45 degrees, created corners for it, glued it, used that corner clamp, glued it with this Elmer's Pro Bond stuff, which just happened to be the only thing I had on hand, but perfectly adequate for the job. I then secured each corner with a screw just to make sure that it was absolutely firm. Here you can see I'm checking the square on the frame by measuring from corner to corner to make sure that it was in fact square. I did have to make slight adjustments, but it was pretty close. Here you see I decided it's a pretty big frame, so I put a cross member halfway down the long side in order to firm it up well. So here is the poster itself laying on the ground. You can see what it looks like before it was put into the frame. Pretty impressive expanse, actually. I then started putting it on here's the frame lying on the back of the poster. The poster's face down on a clean sheet, and I've centered the frame on the canvas in preparation for attaching it to the canvas, to the frame rather. And then what I did was I'm working in towards the corners gradually from each side so that the canvas rather will be stretched evenly on the frame. So this is how you would put a blank canvas on a frame if you were going to be painting on the canvas. So I followed that same technique. So I put a push pin in the middle of the long side. I then stretched the canvas and stapled it on one side, that went back and stapled where the push pin was, and I did the same thing on the short sides. And then I slowly but surely stretched and added staples on each side and just worked my way so that roughly at the same time I got to the corners. Now I recommend looking up on YouTube how to do the corners. I did that. I did follow some instructions on YouTube for that. Well, that's all for now. Signing off until next time, Bob Johnson with PK&W Modelwerx. Keep on modeling.